Find the green basketball hidden inside this video and comment its location. You suddenly awaken to a world entirely stripped of its vibrant emotions and hidden colors, where human hearts simply stopped feeling. At this precise global moment, you witness the chaotic noise of human emotion vanish entirely and permanently from the earth. The Raven welcomes you to the era of pure logic. Prepare yourself well to navigate this deeply altered human landscape.
You watch the outer fabric of reality bend around your ship, creating an unnatural ring of distorted light and shadow. You watch the outer fabric of reality bend around your ship, creating an unnatural ring of distorted light and shadow.
The limbic system, particularly the amygdala, processes human survival emotions, directing our deepest social bonds and daily choices with precision.
You observe the global economy shifting entirely toward cold utility, completely eliminating luxury goods, entertainment, and high-fashion industries worldwide. Without hatred, anger, or tribal pride to fuel conflicts, geopolitical wars and military battles stop completely overnight.
Global peace is finally achieved, not because of moral awakening or deep empathy, but because fighting is calculated as inefficient.
Eating becomes solely for biological refueling, and the culinary arts, spices, and the joy of tasting meals vanish from the world. You observe a legal system entirely devoid of malice or mercy, where human crimes are judged by binary digital algorithms.
Cities lose their enchanting architectural beauty, transforming into highly organized hives designed exclusively for sleeping, working, and routine biological maintenance.
Humanity faces a real and severe extinction crisis, because the natural drive to reproduce vanishes without physical attraction and love.
Neuroscientists prove that without emotional dopamine rewards, humans become unable to make basic decisions, sometimes freezing in place entirely.
You realize that society continues running smoothly only because pre-programmed machines manage the essential daily infrastructure required for life. Contemporary citizens view ancient history as a bizarre era of mass hysteria, completely unable to comprehend concepts of grief or happiness. You realize that crime completely disappears from the world because greed, envy, and the desire to flaunt social status no longer exist. From the deep abyss, cosmic explorers watch our planet transform from a vibrant, noisy radio beacon into a completely silent rock. To the external observer, humanity now resembles an advanced colony of ants, operating purely on biological survival instinct without purpose. Your journey through this silent world deepens further, as the initial shock slowly transitions into a permanent, highly organized social reality. You search desperately for a single smile or a passing tear amid this vast crowd, finding nothing but masks of total neutrality.
Without oxytocin production, the psychological mechanism driving maternal instinct and tribal protection fails, leaving individuals completely isolated from birth.
Query complete. Destination confirmed. The human voice loses its emotional cadences, sarcasm, and rhetorical metaphors. Temples and churches empty completely as the emotional need for cosmic comfort, hope, and spiritual connection vanishes from minds entirely. Scientific progress accelerates exponentially because research is no longer slowed down by political egos, commercial greed, or personal biases. To protect the human race from inevitable extinction, global councils establish artificial birth facilities managed entirely by clinical computer logic. Human life becomes a mere asset owned and managed by the state, carefully calculated to align with the planet's resource requirements. Athletic competitions vanish entirely because the desire to win, defeat opponents, and celebrate physical superiority no longer exists in souls. Clothing choices are reduced to a single, universal design, selected for its high thermal efficiency and long-term textile durability. Earth recovers rapidly from climate change, as industrial consumption drops to the absolute minimum required for human survival. You carefully preserve a secret haven filled with old emotional items, keeping the memory of human feeling alive amid this darkness. Philosophers long argued that shedding passions would bring perfect peace, but they completely failed to foresee the resulting total stagnation. Road rage and traffic jams disappear entirely as transportation systems operate as a single, precisely timed global machine network. The warm concept of home recedes into a mere residential shelter unit, serving no psychological purpose beyond sleeping and hygiene storage. Medicine advances with absolute coldness, as human test subjects are evaluated through pure mathematical risk formulas without ethical hesitation. Festivals, birthdays, and national holidays are deleted from global calendars, as the concept of celebration loses all social meaning. Human biology achieves perfect physical equilibrium, completely eliminating heart diseases caused by stress, mental anxiety, and psychological panic attacks globally. Libraries are thoroughly purged of any literature containing emotional narratives, retaining only math, engineering, and empirical data logs. Deep space exploration slows down drastically because the romantic desire to conquer unknown star systems dies completely in minds. The world operates with the absolute precision of a mechanical clock, yet feels like an empty theater waiting for actors who never arrive. Nostalgia disappears completely. People focus exclusively on the immediate present moment, without collecting souvenirs or old photographs. Pets are no longer raised for emotional companionship, but are utilized strictly as functional assets in security and agricultural industries. You realize with bitterness that you might be the very last human being on this planet who still remembers how to cry or laugh.
Evolutionary biologists point out that emotion-driven competition was the primary historical engine for human innovation, cultural diversity, and social adaptation.
Humor and joking become entirely abandoned, as the logical mind sees no purpose in wordplay or laughing at ironies. The visual world becomes incredibly clean but sterile and cold, lacking any expression of human personality, rebellion, or creative identity. Hope vanishes alongside despair. Humanity moves forward not because it expects a better tomorrow, but out of sheer momentum. Dinner tables lose their familiar warmth, transforming into highly efficient refueling stations, where people consume sustenance without sharing stories. Ancient radio waves carry the remnants of bygone human passion across the cosmos, serving as a ghostly monument to a dead emotional world. You finally realize that a world of perfectly rational faces and minds is completely stable, yet entirely stripped of genuine human value. You attempt a radical scientific experiment to reintroduce chemical and emotional signals into the frozen network of the collective human nervous system. A single, solitary tear breaches the fortress of strict logic, announcing the massive potential for the complex, chaotic human soul to be reborn. Suppressed neural pathways fire like falling dominoes, causing waves of sudden emotional confusion to ripple across all corners of the city. Return of emotion brings immediate and total chaos, as human minds struggle to process the sudden, overwhelming onslaught of genuine fear. Urban streets explode into a chaotic, beautiful symphony of sound, as decades of silent neutrality melt away into pure joy. You realize clearly that restoring love and happiness also means reawakening anger, envy, greed, and the massive potential for war. The creative spirit returns like a sudden, roaring flood, breaking down the concrete, sterile walls of the previous pure logic system. The framework of the perfect economic machine fractures instantly, sacrificing absolute robotic efficiency for the chaotic, beautiful pursuit of personal relationships.
Humanity reclaims slaughter.
Neurological studies show that without emotions, the human brain cannot prioritize, proving that feelings are vital to our advanced intelligence.
Monotonous gray suits disappear completely as citizens begin wearing colorful, unique fabrics, celebrating the reclamation of their independent individual identities. You accept completely that living in an imperfect world filled with conflict is far better than remaining in a mechanical world devoid of love.
Public squares come alive again with the beautiful voices of youth.
The great experiment ends successfully, proving that human strength lies precisely in this delicate, complex balance between logic and passion.
The city builds a massive monument to immortalize the era of long silence, reminding future generations never to take their feelings for granted.
The simple beauty of companionship and genuine human connection returns to Earth, saving our species from the cold threat of mechanical extinction.
Human sciences recalibrate their central algorithms, recognizing that empathy and emotional intuition are essential components for developing advanced cosmic intelligence.
If guaranteeing absolute peace and living without any suffering required entirely surrendering your capacity to love, would you accept this logical bargain?